What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Twins back at it again. Another Bible reading video. Today, we're about to be reading out of the book of Job, chapters 31, 32. Um, Without further ado, man, let's get right to it. Job's final approval. I have made a covenant with my eyes. How then could I gaze at a virgin? What would be my portion from God above and my heritage from Almighty on high? Is not calamity for the unrighteous and disaster for the workers of iniquity? Okay, so this, in the last chapter we read about Job's, like, he's just defending himself, continuing to talk, continuing to um his case. Yeah. It does not he see my ways and number all my steps. If I have walked with falsehood and my foot has hastened to deceit, let me be weighted in a just balance, and let God let God know my integrity. If my step has turned aside from the way, and my hours has gone after my eyes, and if any spot has stuck to my hands, then let me sow and another eat, and let what grows from me be cooked, be rooted out. If my heart has been enticed toward the woman, and I have lain in wait at my neighbor's door, then let my wife grind for another, and let others bow down on her. For that would be a heinous crime. That would be an iniquity to be punished by the judges. For that would be a fire that consumes us as far as Abaddon, and it would burn to the root all my increase. If I have rejected the cause of my manservant or my maidservant, so he's like just trying to check the boxes and repenting. He's like, if I've done this wrong, like allow me to be punished for it. Like, wow, what humility after all that he has gone through, after all that he's gone through. Wow, what humility, man. Inspirational stuff. Okay. I have rejected the cause of my manservant or my maidservant when they brought a complaint against me. What then shall I do when God rises up, when he makes inquiry? What shall I answer him? Did not he who made me in the womb make him? And did not one fashion us in the womb? If I have withheld anything that the poor desired, or have caused the eyes of the widow to fall, or have eaten my morsel alone, and the fatherless had not eaten of it. For from my youth the fatherless grow up with me as with a father, and from my mother's womb I guided the widow. If I have seen soon anyone perish for the lack of clothing, or the needy without covering, if his body has not blessed me, and if he was not warmed with the fleece of my sheep, if I have raised my hand against the fatherless, because I saw my help in the gate, then let my shoulder blade fall from my shoulder, and let my arm be broken from its socket. For I was in terror of calamity from God, and I could not have faced his majesty. If I have made gold my trust, or called fine gold my confidence, if I have rejoiced because my wealth was abundant, or because my hand had found much, if I had looked at the sun when it shone, or the moon moving in splendor, and my heart has been secretly enticed, and my mouth has kissed my hand, this would also be an iniquity to be punished by the judges, for I would have been false to God above. If I have rejoiced at the ruin of him who hated me, or exulted when evil overtook him, if I have not let my mouth sin by asking for life with a curse, if the man of my tent have not said, who is there that has not been filled with his meat? The songer has not lodged in the street. I have opened my doors to the traveler. If I have concealed my transgressions as others do by hiding my iniquity in my heart, because I stood in great fear of the multitude, and the contempt of the families terrified me, so that I kept silence, and did not go out of doors. Oh, that I had one to hear me. Here is my signature. Let the Almighty answer me. Oh, that I had indictment written for my adversary. Surely I would carry it on my shoulder. I would bind it on me as a crown. I would give him an account of all my steps. Like a prince, I would reproach him. If my land has cried out against me, and its furrows have wept together, if I have eaten its yield without payment, and made its owners breathe their last, let thorns grow instead of wheat, and foul weed instead of barley. The words of Job are ended. Elihu rebukes Job's three friends. So these three men ceased to answer Job because he was righteous in his own eyes. Then Elihu, the son of Barachel the Buzite, of the family of Ram, burned with anger. He burned with anger at Job because he justified himself rather than God. He burned with anger also at Job's three friends because they had found no answer, although they had declared Job to be in the wrong. Now Elihu had waited to speak to Job because they were older than he. And when Elihu saw that there was no answer in the mouth of these three men, he burned with anger. And Elihu the son of Barachel the Buzite answered and said, I am young in years, and you are aged. Therefore I was timid and afraid to declare my opinion to you. I said, let days speak, and many years teach wisdom. But it is the spirit of man, the breath of the Almighty, that makes him understand. It is not the old who are wise, nor the aged who understand what is right. Therefore I say, listen to me. Let me also declare my opinion. Behold, I wanted for your words. I listened for your wine cravings. While you searched out what to say, I gave you my attention, and behold, there was none among you who refuted Job or who answered his words. Okay, wait, hold on. So when chapter 32 started, um, this is a separate person that comes and is rebuking Job's friends for the way that they were treating Job. Probably somebody who's sitting listening to all this. Third or fourth character. Um, yeah, wow. So yeah, so he basically was like, I didn't, since he was young, he didn't really want to say his opinion, but he was just so fed up with hearing what was going on. And yeah, I kind of read through this without like, I need to like re-register a little bit. Sorry about this. Spirit of man. Wow. Okay. So this guy clearly has great faith and he clearly has an understanding and he has compassion for Job and is not acting in arrogance. And I don't even know if he knows Job. We didn't describe him as a friend of Job. So maybe he's just somebody who's just like witnessing what's happening. Behold, I wanted for your words, I listened for your wise sayings. While you searched out what to say, I gave you my attention, and behold, there was none among you who refuted Job or answered his words. So he's saying like there's just nothing they said was able to answer what Job had to say. Beware lest you say, we have found wisdom. God may vanquish him, not a man. He has now not directed his words against me, and I will not answer him with your speeches. They are dismayed, they answer no more. They have not a word to say, and shall I wait, because they do not speak, because they stand there, and answer no more. I will also answer with my share. I will also declare my opinion, for I am full of words, the spirit within me constrains me. Behold, my belly is like wine that has no vent, like new wineskins ready to burst. I must speak, that I may find relief. I must open my lips and answer. I will not show partiality to any man, or use flattery toward any person, for I do not know how to flatter, else my maker would soon tailor or take me away. Okay. Then he says, why who rebukes Job. So so in the next chapter, interesting. So maybe some of the stuff that Job has said was not completely in alignment, or maybe it was unfaithful. But in the next chapter, this wise young man, he's about to rebuke Job too. And then in the next chapter after that, says Elihu um, asserts God's justice. And yeah, man, I'm really excited to read the rest of this. This guy's just going to talk for a while. Um, yeah, it's a really great story, man. I really appreciate this. I really appreciate God putting this in the Bible. Um, but yeah, man, I love y'all. I'll catch y'all tomorrow. God bless. And yeah, peace.